great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 690 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Today is October 16th, 2024. I'll be here for the next hour or so trying to answer as many of your immigration law related questions as I can. How has your week been? The week is almost halfway over. We are well on our way to next weekend. What is new? It's cold here in St. Louis. It dropped down to about 36 last night, which was great sleeping weather. I love it when it's cold. Let me go ahead and say hi to everybody who's here. We have Tyrone in the house. Searing is here. The Prince is here. Whistleen says hello and sends good wishes. Hina is here. Thank you, Hina. Kwaku says hello from Kentucky. Julian is in London. Nurse Laura says hello. Lynn is here in St. Louis. Maggie in New Jersey. Chiafora says good morning, everyone, as does Joanna Collins all the way from Miami. We have Junie here. No TikTok today, Hina. I'm just chilling. Today's Boss's Day and Employee, I think, Appreciation Day or something. So we're doing a barbecue at noon. So I'm just keeping it low key today. Got my hoodie on, just chilling. I had way too many meetings yesterday. I am not built for lots of meetings. My eyes sort of glazed over and I was like, oh, another meeting. I even had a meeting at 7 o'clock last night. Met with some nice brothers out in San Diego, one of the mosques out there, wanting help to bring an imam to the United States. So that's pretty cool. I like working on those religious visas. Christine says hello. Robert's rooting for the Mets. Yeah, anybody better than the Dodgers. That's for sure, Robert. You got that right. Christine says blessings to everyone online. Umaru is sending peace from Arizona. We got Martin, Mamu, Hamza, Elizabeth all saying hello. We have Oli Alex saying Dobry Utro from Russia. That's exciting. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Donna's here representing all the Yardies across the land. I'm going to an interview coming up for a Jamaican citizen. So how about that? Julian gives us all a great reminder to all U.S. citizens in the U.S. Please vote. Please make sure to vote. I'm going to vote early. I'm probably going to vote next week. J. Cruz says good day. No, we're not going to have corn on the cob, I don't think. We'll see. Roberto's here from Dallas. Donovan. All right. So what's going on? What do you guys want to talk about? The election is like 3 weeks away. It's hard to believe. I think Donald Trump is getting worse and worse. I think the dude has actually lost his mind. Hina mailed in her absent. Be quiet, Siri. You fucking idiot. Be quiet. All right. Do you guys talk to Siri? Do you yell at Alexa? I don't know. Siri was bothering me there, so I had to get mad. Hey, I was thinking, we had that nice fellow on yesterday. He might have been one of the last callers. And he said he was a notario, but not one of the bad notarios. And I think he was a nice fellow. I liked him. I liked talking to him. But I'm not so sure there's not something. I don't know if a good notario is a real thing. I don't think there is a good notario. I don't think notarios are doing anybody any service because they're basically shooting in the dark. They know a little bit. They know enough to be dangerous. They're filing these applications that people aren't eligible for. I'm sure there's people that are well-intentioned. And we talked about the difference between a notario and an accredited representative. But I'm not sure there's anything as a good or kind notario. It took me a long time to learn immigration law, and I still have lots to learn. I learned new stuff every week. So to think that a non-lawyer would be giving people advice on sort of life-changing circumstances sort of boggles my mind. All right. I think there's somebody here named Panda Bear. Hello, Panda Bear.
Oh, hey, Jim. Can you take me off camera?
You're off camera.
Okay, great. So, uh, how are you?
I'm
Sorry,
good.
this is
Thanks
my
for
first time on this.
Yeah, it's
So,
all
recently I just got naturalized last week. I attended my oath ceremony. Um, I had some issues with my case, mainly because I was arrested, and one other thing was I didn't register for selective services. So during my interview, they sent me an RFE for the arrest documents, which my lawyer did provide to them, but they didn't even ask me anything about selective service, like the the officer. But they still went ahead and approved my case after the RFE. So I'm just worried that they might denaturalize me in the
I think
future.
that's I think that's unlikely. I mean, how old were you when you got your green card?
Uh, I was well, this was in 2018, so 2017. So I was like uh, 20, 21.
Okay, so you should have registered. Yeah, I mean, officers have the leeway to sort of forgive that. I'm sure the officer didn't care that much, and just went ahead and waived that requirement. Usually, if the person says, "Oh man, I'm sorry I didn't register for selective service. If I knew about selective service, I definitely would have registered. I love this country, and if they need me, I'll be here," like you do when you take the oath. I think this isn't something you need to worry about.
Well, also the second, so my arrest, it was for like prostitution, but
Okay.
the case was dismissed through pretrial diversion. Like I had to do a program and get that dismissed, and that I was never convicted for it. So my lawyer told me that there might not be a chance. Like you might get it, you might not get it. It's up to them, but. Um, it was since I was not convicted, but they still asked for all the evidence, like the court documents, the pretrial agreement, and everything, and they still approved me. So I was just worried, like they might come back say that, oh, we made a mistake and we accidentally gave it to you. So that's why.
They could, but I think the chances of that are very unlikely.
Okay, because I've had happened that with my green card. When we got our green cards, they put a case against us that we, like me and my fam, we fraudulently got the green card. So they took us. We went to court for that, and the judge dismissed that case for our green card. So it has already happened to us before, where they sent us a notice that they're gonna take the green card back, um, because they thought we fraudulently got it, but they didn't have enough evidence because they just made a claim. But we went to court and we proved everything.
What was the alleged fraud?
So we entered through when we got here. We entered through visit visa, and then
Mhm.
we. I don't know the timelines for that because my dad did most of the work, but we got the labor certifications for one of our family members. It was, I think, our dad or my mom, and based through that we all got our green cards. But their case was their accusation was that we never worked, like the person that applied I think it was my dad, never worked in the home country that we came from. So we got a labor certification based on fraud, because how can they give it to someone that never worked in the you know so they took us to court, and then we had all the evidence and the documents, and they never had anything saying, like any proof on their end that they um, are supposed to take it. So
Well, my brother, then I would say you're a very, very lucky person. I'm glad that it all worked out. I don't think I mean, I'm sure there'll always be a little bit of concern in the back of your head, especially if Trump gets reelected, but I don't think you have much to worry about. I think you're fine.
Okay, thank you so much. I was just worried, so that's why.
Good luck, buddy.
Oh, good luck.
Thanks. All right, all right. That was Panda Bear worrying about his naturalization. I'm glad he got it. Jim is here. Hello, Jim. Jim, are you there?
Hey Jim, I'm here. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good, good, good. I got a question for you. Just one sec because I know it's noisy here.
You're fine.
Um, so yesterday I had a background check through my employer that he did in my name, and then they put in incorrect information about me. Uh, they put in the country of. Do you have a green card though?
I'm not. I can't hear. I can't hear you.
I contacted the employer, sent them an email. They admitted through an email that they're wrong, that they put in incorrect information. Now, that background check is through the FBI. It was for a security job. And this is where I'm at. I don't want it to affect me once I try to apply for citizenship. What do you think about that so far?
I don't understand. You are shorting in and out. So let's try to clear up. Are you a green card holder?
I am, yes.
And when did you get your green card?
On 2022.
And how did you got through marriage or something else?
Marriage, yes.
Okay, so what's the problem now? What are you worried about?
So I tried to work as a security, as a non-commissioned security officer. So they had to go through a background check. In the background check, in order for me to take the fingerprints, they need to fill out a form. In that form, it asks, what is your citizenship? What is your country of citizenship? The employer was the one that filled it out, and he put in United States as my country of citizenship. So that's the problem. I don't want it to affect me once I try to apply for citizenship.
When did that happen?
2 days ago.
Did you notify them in writing that you're not a U.S. citizen?
I did send them an email to the employer, and I was like, "This is what happened. You put in that I'm a United States citizen as a country of my country of citizenship." And then in the email, they admitted that it's their fault, and they tried contacting the fingerprint company. They couldn't fix it. We tried to go through the Department of Public Safety, still didn't fix it. So we've been going in a loop for 2 days.
So I would say, number one, it's good that you have what's called a timely recantation. You notified them as soon as you found out. It was only 2 days after. I just think I just have one thing that I want to tell you. I don't think you're going to like it. Are you ready?
Please.
I think you can get around this when it comes time for naturalization, because I think when they ask the question, have you ever made a false claim to U.S. citizenship? I think you could actually answer no to that, right? As long as you can prove it was the employer and not you, and it sounds like you have that in your email.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
If I had a magic wand, I would have you not go to work for this company.
Oh, I stopped. I didn't even take the position, and I emailed the licensing company. I was like, I don't want this license anymore. They said that it's being issued. You're gonna receive in your email. I sent them a letter. I uploaded a letter saying that I do not want that license anymore. I don't want the company. I quit that job. I was like, I'm not gonna work for you. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you did everything right. I think you're good.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just make sure you keep proof of all that, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. One of our favorites is here. Where is he? Oh, Ryan has to go again. Oh, Ryan's leaving, but Ryan gave a big up to all the Yardies. So I was just saying hi to old Ryan. Good to see Ryan. Thank you, Donna, for getting him on. He's got to go to the eye doctor. Hope everything's okay. Hey, Donna, any progress? Is Ryan's wife coming with him to see you in Jamaica? I did make his day. He was happy, wasn't he, Hina? That guy was happy. Yeah. Yes, we can. Was that Obama's slogan or is that Kamala's slogan? Yes, we can. Are you there?
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm long time listener, but first time caller.
Oh, that's our favorite.
Yeah.
Go
Jim,
ahead.
I have a question. I came this country 2015, and then I seek asylum.
Great.
Until 2022, no interview, no anything. And then 2022, I got married. I got green card,
Great.
temporary 2-year green card.
Yep.
And then when I applied 2015 asylum in my country, I'm from Ethiopia.
Yes, sir.
It was a dictator government almost 27 years.
I already know where this question's going. Keep going. I'm ready for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then that movement, we need change. Movement for high school and university. And then that I am membership that movement. And then I got detained or tortured by that government. And then I came here, I seek asylum.
Yep.
2021, this government totally, after 27 years, is go.
Yep.
And then my wife, she went to Ethiopia, and then she checked my police record, everything, and then save. And then I visit my country, I come back.
Okay.
Is that affect for me? And then I already withdraw asylum.
Right. So, I'm not a big fan of this. I don't like this when this happens. In my mind, once you apply for asylum, you're pretty much saying you can't ever go back. I guess, when you apply for citizenship, you're going to have to tell them that you went back there.
Yeah.
So I think that you're going to have to be ready to demonstrate why it was safe for you. It sounds like you've got a pretty good story. Your wife checked, the dictatorship was over.
I have proof. She last year she went April. She went to Ethiopia, check everything, and then this totally is safe for me.
Okay. Well, if the rest of the world believes it, not just you and me, but if the rest of the world thinks things have changed in Ethiopia and that it's safe, it'll probably be fine. But I wish you hadn't gone, right? Like, so for people thinking about going, I say don't go. But if you went, you went. There's not much we can do about it.
Yeah, because we have now a new government. This government young, he everything good for us, and then now.
Okay.
Is that an affect for me? I am scared maybe when you apply as citizen, when you apply as
no, you should still apply. Go ahead and apply. I think you'll be okay.
Okay, thank you.
But you gotta be ready to explain it like you just did to me.
Okay, I can hire for you 751. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, great. Sure. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, everybody knows my thoughts on asylum and going back to the old country. Mazou is here. Hi, Mazou. Mazou Muhammad, are you there? You're on mute. Hello, Mazou.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. I have a quick question. I just I just got married and then I filed everything, and so I just recently got into a little trouble. Like, I jumped into the path in New York. Okay, so I jumped through the turnstile in New York in the path, and I got the ticket from the police. And so he said I have to show up to the court. And so I don't know if this is it a criminal record. It's like, is it gonna affect my adjustment of status, or is it a big thing? So I just want to know.
I don't understand what the charge was.
Okay, so I just 1 second. I have the ticket on my phone here. Just 1 second. Let me just.
Okay, sure.
All right, thanks. So the charge was, so the title of the offense is the police gave me is 165.15. the theft of service.
So it was like you jumped the turnstile at the subway or something?
Yes, so that's it. So it's like I wasn't thinking. So it's like this is the first time ever I've done this, because I was just going through something, and I just jumped for the first time ever, and then the police immediately gave me that ticket. So is that right for me to have that ticket?
Well, sounds like it. Yeah, sounds like you jumped the line that they're supposed to give you the ticket. Yeah.
So would that affect my adjustment of status? Do I have to show to the court, or it's like, do I have to just pay the fine online or something?
Um, I mean, it's just a municipal charge. Is this in New York City?
Yes, New York City. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think the officer is going to want to talk to you about it. Like they're going to want to sort of yell at you for not following the rules. But I don't think it's going to keep you from getting your green card. I think you'll still get your green card.
Okay, still good, right?
I think so, but just make sure you talk about it and you bring the proof that you paid the fine.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
And make sure you have a good explanation, because your explanation to me was not very detailed. So you're going to have to explain to them why you did this.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Bye, Mazou.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you, buddy. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I know I'm old and things are crazy, but isn't it amazing that I can talk to a guy who's walking down the street in Manhattan about some jumping the line ticket that he got, and that you guys can all hear about it. It's just crazy that this world we live in, that we're able to do this show and 171 people are watching. And if we wanted to, we could do it on TikTok. But that's right, Jay Cruz, no parkour in the subway. I don't know what parkour is, but I think that's right. No parkour in this. Wait, Huli knows what parkour is. Is that a card game? What is it?
Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, parkour.
Can
What
you
is
hear
it?
me? It's like a sport that they jump from building, from stairs, from.
Oh, I got it.
So they do all the jumping. So no parkour.
Yeah, I like watching those on TikTok. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Michelle is complaining about some question, but there's no Michelle in the waiting room. So you got to come in the waiting room if you want me to answer a question. Temi says, welcome to the 2024 tech world, Jim. Thank you, Temi. Making me feel old. Yeah, Hina said it's like stunts. Thank you, everybody, for that. Don't do parkour in the subway. You get a ticket, and then you don't get your green card. No, I think Mazou is going to be fine. But I think he's got to give a better explanation. Glenn says, I feel old too. Hello, Joe Department.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. I'm doing great. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm calling you from Rwanda. I don't know whether you know Rwanda, Africa.
I know.
And I've been following you several times ago. And today I'm raising a question about immigration. My wife is in the US, and she's a green card holder. She has a petition for me. And now the case in December last year, 21st, and now I have tried to expedite the case, but they denied my expedite the case. And while they have sent a message to me that your case is in line with there is a term, a lawyer term, that is where the decision should be made, whether it is denied or whether it will be approved. I don't know how long time it will be taking again to proceed with giving me the decision of the case. Since now it is almost 1 year since I'm waiting for that decision.
So a couple of things. Number one, most requests for expediting are denied. Most are denied. right? Number two, number two, there's no expediting that can make the spouse of a green card holder case go faster. There are 3 years of people in line ahead of you. So no one can make you go to the head of that line if your priority date isn't current. So if she just filed in December, you're wasting your time asking them to expedite because they can't. They might approve the I-130, but that doesn't mean you get here any faster because you're not going to get here until your priority date becomes current. Do you know about the priority date? Do you know what that is?
I don't know well, but I've tried to watch
Okay.
several videos on YouTube, but I don't know what
Yep.
the exact is
I'm
priority date.
I'm going to explain it to you right now. So you said that your wife filed in December of 2023, right?
Yes, 21st.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? I'm going to share it here.
No, I'm not seeing your screen yet.
Here we go. Okay, so you can always type in Visa Bulletin. That's what you type in right here, Visa Bulletin. You type that into Google, and then each month it comes out. So here's the October one, here's the November one. You see that there?
Yes, I'm seeing that.
Okay, so November Visa Bulletin. So your wife is a green card holder. So your category, you need to write this down, F2A. You're in the F2A category, right?
Yes.
So and you need to go to the final action date, right? So right now, people who are married to a green card holder who have a priority date of January of 2022, their visas are getting approved. They're finally done. So you have to keep your case moving, but you still have about a year, almost 2 years until there's a visa available to you. There's a limit on the number of visas that Congress has approved for the spouses of green card holders. So even if USCIS expedites your I-130, it doesn't matter because the State Department can't give you the visa. Even if they wanted to give you a visa tomorrow, they can't. They are prohibited by law. They can't. So
exactly.
Expediting is sort of a waste of time.
Okay. So what about if my wife is getting an appointment for 400 naturalization form, and then she will be passing an exam next month on the 7th. I don't know whether if she's getting she's naturalized, she's getting U.S. citizenship, whether she can be allowed to expedite the case since she has 3 kids there in the U.S. She's a lot of burden to raise their kids there alone and going to work. She cannot drive. She's suffering some difficulties there alone. So I don't know whether that will be the reason to expedite since she will be a U.S. citizen.
So when she becomes a citizen, you definitely want to notify USCIS and the State Department that you want to be reclassified as the spouse of a U.S. citizen, and that's when you ask them to expedite it. I would not bother them again until she becomes a citizen. Then when she becomes a citizen, you send them a copy of her citizenship certificate on your case and tell them now it's time to expedite. Please, please, please.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Good luck.
See ya. Didn't he sound like Fatuma? He sounded like Fatuma to me. I thought he might even be related. Oh, wait a minute. Look who's here. We've got a guitar in the house. Where did he go? There he is. Hello, boss.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great, buddy. How are you doing?
That's the only person in the truck with me is this guitar that I made for Priscilla.
Where is
put
she?
together for her. She started working Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, she's working at through University of Arkansas at a special needs school.
That's awesome. Is she excited?
Yeah. Oh, she's so happy and so excited. She had to go through a lot of hoops. It was, I'm not going to say it's as bad as filing for immigration, but it was close. She had to do a lot.
When did she get her work card?
A long time ago. Probably 3 months ago. I think she got her work card before she got her driver's license, maybe.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
that came pretty quick. But she has her social security card, work card, and all that. And they hired her the right way. Went through all the I-9 and all the things that they needed to do. They were familiar with how to hire someone.
That's great. Everyone wants to hear a song, Matt.
Oh, well, I don't know if you can hear it on here. I've just learned how to play, believe it or not, after watching yesterday, the movie. Remember, Leave It Be, Let It Be.
Yeah.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Oh, I messed up already.
You're doing great. That's great. Thanks, buddy.
Speaking words of wisdom, let it be. There it is. That's the F.
Love it.
Anyway, Jim, I wanted to extend because I know you go places, you have to travel places, and you see I'm all alone in the truck now.
Yeah.
So I'm inviting you to come along for any week of your choosing. My first stop will be St. Louis. I'll come through. You just have to jump in the truck and come with me, and then I'll drop you back off at the end of the week.
I'm totally up for this, but probably in 2 years when Nor goes to school. Once Nor goes to college, I'd be totally down. That would be a total blast.
You got it. You got a seat right here. It reclines, and
we'll do the show. We'll do a road trip show. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be incredible.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, thanks. I just wanted to give you an update. We're so excited about Priscilla. I mean, she's just so happy, and it's a good job. And
it's great.
Great. Yeah, and invite you to come anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
2 years. I'm going to remember.
Yep. Be careful.
Bye. I will. Bye.
Oh, what a great guy. Oh, that's one of our favorites. Matt. Epic. We're all happy for Priscilla. Yeah, on the road show. That's right, Huli. We're going to Smokey and the Bandit. That's right. Smokey. What a great movie that is. Oh, my God. I need to watch that again. Smokey and the Bandit is one of the all-time best road pictures. I love it. All right. Speaking of love, let's talk to Loveland Love. Oh, nope, they're gone. I don't know where they went. They're gone. All right. Let's go to Diana. Hi, Diana.
Oh, hey. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Well, a little bit overwhelmed in the last 2 weeks. So my question is, I got married with a resident in 2021. And then I applied this year to remove the conditions. But he became a citizen last year. So he's been a citizen for a year right now. So the first question is, can I follow the rule of 3 years to apply for citizenship, or I need to wait the 5 years because he's only been a citizen for 1 year?
So in order to apply on the 3-year rule, 2 things have to be true, okay? One is your green card needs to be 3 years old, right? And number 2, you need to be married to a U.S. citizen for 3 full years. So that's the part that screws you up. You haven't been married for 3 full years to a U.S. citizen, right?
No, he's only been a citizen for a year now. He was a resident.
So I would say once your green card is 3 years old and once he's a citizen for 3 years, then you're okay. And don't apply on the 3 months early. You got to wait the full 3 years for both of those things to be true, okay?
Okay, and then that's the ideal scenario. And then the second question is, my husband asked me for a divorce 2 weeks ago. And I'm waiting for the approval of the 10 years green card. And we are in California. So it's like, I was thinking maybe, hopefully I get the 10 years green card and then we can start the divorce, because I know you cannot file solo if you are not divorced officially. And that's 6 months minimum in California.
But I mean, number one is if the marriage is falling apart, you need to be careful about keeping the 751 going. You can file a solo without the divorce being final. A 751 takes 2 years. So you can apply, and then once you get your divorce finalized, you can submit it. So you don't have to have it at the time of filing. You just have to have it before they approve it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm all for trying to save your marriage and keeping things going, but at the same time, don't feel like you need to stay in the marriage or prop up the marriage. Like if it's really falling apart, I wouldn't do that just because, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather have control over my own destiny, not rely on him, and be able to get my 10-year green card on my own.
So when you said like you can apply without submitting it, what that actually means? Like I can send the form, like a new form.
Yeah. So what we do in situations like this, where there's a jointly filed 751, what we do is we get a whole new 751 ready, a 751 solo, where it's just you, and you ask for the good faith marriage exemption that, you know, it was a real marriage that just didn't work. I would probably want to have the divorce on file before I filed it. And then I tell them I have filed for divorce. And as soon as the divorce is final, I'll update you. And here's all my evidence that it was a real marriage. Could be the same evidence you and he submitted jointly, and then go from there.
Okay. And then how does the communication between USCIS and, let's say he files for a divorce next week and then I get served? Like, there is a way for them to know?
No, they're not that quick. I mean, he could notify them if he wanted, but that does happen. But that's why I think you need to move quickly to get your own 751 on file, because then what you do is you try to say to him, hey, could we jointly withdraw the one that we filed together? I just got my receipt back on the one I filed on my own.
Okay. Yeah, that's my main concern. And then, you know, the rest is just law, family, of like how to split the assets and all of that. Because it's just tricky because he 90% of assets is in stocks. So I have been reading, how do you transfer stocks? How do you split that? Because it's not a chunk of money. They just have half easy.
Those are great questions for a family law attorney in California. I just don't know. And I don't do family law. I enjoyed it as a class, but I don't do it. So
okay, but that were my questions about immigrations. Because I was hopeful, like maybe I can apply for the 3 years, but based on what I read, like I cannot because he's just been a citizen for a year.
That's right.
All right, thank you.
Bye, Diana. Yeah, you also wouldn't want to do it. You wouldn't want to, if there's any problems with the marriage, you always want to go on the 5-year rule, even if he hasn't filed for divorce. Or there's problems with the marriage, you don't want to be beholden to him and his whims, how he's feeling. Chai Ofora says, please, I'm back. Don't skip me. I have important questions. There's nobody named Chai Ofora in the comments, so I don't know who that is. Let's go to Kwame. Hello, Kwame.
Yeah, hello, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine. I have two quick questions. One is for me, one is for a friend of mine. So, we filed for my 3 kids who are in Ghana after I got my green card. And now our problem is that all the 3 kids have different service centers. So when they are in, which way would they be approved, and how are we going to concurrently join the application when it goes to NVC? We are kind of worried over there that they might approve one and they will not approve the others yet, and it's going to be a whole kind of a scattered stuff.
So so you're telling me that you submitted all 3 together, but they split them up and sent them to 3 different service centers?
Yes, we did it the same day. We did it online, and one went to California, one went to Vermont, one went to Texas.
Got it. It shows you how disorganized they are. I wouldn't worry about this too much. They'll probably get approved around the same time, and then once they get approved, you're going to be processing them at the State Department. So if one goes fast and one goes slow, the slow one will catch up. I don't think you need to worry. I mean, as long as you're keeping in contact in all the cases with the National Visa Center, I don't think this is something that you really need to worry about. It's a pain in the ass, but they'll all get back together, and then it'll be set. I think it'll be ready for interview in Ghana.
Okay. And then my second question is for a friend of mine. He did VAWA. He got his work authorization, and then it got expired. And then he applied for a renewal. But for the renewal, the card itself and the first time he got a work permit and the work travel authorization on the one SIM card, the combo card. Now he applied for a renewal, and of course they gave him a letter to show that which he can show to still work, that his card is under process. The problem now is that he wants to travel to Ghana to go see his kids, which he has not seen for 4 years. So my worry is that, is he safe to use only the letter given to him to travel to Ghana and come in safely whilst his case is still pending?
I'd have to see it, but I wouldn't leave unless I had current advance parole. I wouldn't rely on that letter. That letter is only for the 765.
Okay. Okay. All right, Jim. I think that's all for now.
Thank you, Kwame.
Thank
you. See you, bud. I got something to share with you guys. I thought you guys might find this interesting. So this lady in the New York Times, she tried to smuggle 29 turtles wrapped in socks. She tried to bring it across a lake from Vermont to Canada in an inflatable kayak. They were all in a duffel bag. These turtles, aren't they cute? Federal agents discovered in a duffel bag what appeared to be socks that were moving. Inside each of the socks were 29 eastern box turtles. She pled guilty to attempting to smuggle these box turtles, a protected species, into the United States. She was arrested in June at a residence in Vermont as she was about to enter the kayak with the bag on Lake Wallace. She's charged with attempting to export merchandise contrary to law. She'll be sentenced in December and faces up to 10 years in prison. Can you believe that? 10 years in prison. According to the affidavit, Ms. Ning, who is living in Canada, drew the attention of the U.S. Border Patrol at the Beecher Falls station in Canaan after she repeatedly rented the same Vermont residence on Lake Wallace, which has shores on both countries and has been used in the past for smuggling. On June 26th, they saw her carrying a duffel bag to the kayak from the rented residence, so they were keeping an eye on her. The Royal Mounted Police notified U.S. border agents that two people, one of they thought was her husband, had launched an inflatable watercraft on the Canadian side of the lake and started to paddle toward the United States. The socks were moving. That's just so crazy. They were still in their shell. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. The Fish and Wildlife agent, these are 5 or 6 inches long. The Fish and Wildlife agent figured out what they were, and they're sold on the Chinese black market for more than $1,000 each. They're protected. It's a protected endangered species. Wow. You know, I've heard of people getting busted coming through customs with, yeah, I got to watch that border security show, Laura. You're right. I need to watch that show. But, you know, I've heard of people getting busted with fruit or other things. When I saw the headline, I didn't actually read the whole story till just now. So that's a pretty crazy story, smuggling snap turtles in a duffel bag. I mean, I guess that's $29,000, but 10 years in prison seems like a long time. Jose has good news. Hey, Jim, thanks for your advice. We got our I-130 approved yesterday. Well, that's good news. Alejandro says, CBP got my pork burritos. Donna says, crazy people in the world. I agree, Donna. There's some crazy people in the world. All right. I'm surprised CBP got the pork burritos must not have been cooked yet. I don't know. Border shows are the best. Also teaches you what not to do when talking to border officers. I bet there's little clips that I could clip off there and we could talk about here on the show. I think that would be interesting. What channel is that on, you guys? Alejandro, you can't bring pork at all. Yeah, probably because of swine disease and stuff like that. PJ asked a question that is not dumb. Does trying the DV lottery count as immigrant intent? No, it doesn't. It does not. Nicholas is here. Hi, Nicholas.
Hello, Jim.
How you doing, buddy? Oh, he's frozen. All right. Oh, wait. He just came back. Oh, darn it. Yeah, his reception wasn't very good. Let's go to Troy. Hi, Troy.
Oh, hey, Jim. I just wanted to ask one question and also wanted to say thank you. Because because of you, My wife, she got her citizenship. We send a letter off like you told us. We've been calling you. We've been calling immigration every week, every Monday from the time she sent the letter, and today we got our approval for our 130.
That's so awesome. Where's the case pending?
Well, it was pending at California.
Is your wife overseas?
Yeah, she's in the US right now, and I'm in St. Lucia.
Oh, you're in St. Lucia. Oh, it's an I-130 for you. Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how long was her case pending?
So we've been counting as exactly 14 months.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling her. That's exactly what I've been telling everybody. 14 months.
Yeah. So right now we're going to NVC, and we have to go to Barbados. Well, I have to go to Barbados for the interview and everything. But I have we had two questions.
Yep.
So I been listening to your lives and also some of your videos, and you said that if your spouse does not meet the minimum thing for
Yeah.
for the affidavit support, that you would need a co-sponsor, right?
Correct.
But I would want to just know what is the minimum for.
So for a single person, in my mind, I think it's around $30,000. It's really like 28,000, but I just think 30 so that we're over it. And you need to have three years of good earning history.
That's the issue. She doesn't have 3 years. She has, I think, 2.
So probably need a co-sponsor.
Yeah. And also we'll be applying for my daughter, but that's the issue. We didn't do her. Since she was a green card holder, the law or whatever stated that she could be on the same I-130 as me. But since she changed over, I have to now file a new one for my daughter. Or
because your wife's a citizen.
Yeah, so
that's right.
So if she applies for my daughter, that means the affidavit of support, her minimum has to go up, or is
Yeah, so it'll go up about $5,500.
$5,500. Okay, that's no problem. So then, okay, that's no problem. So we'll just have to look for a co-sponsor. We already have someone in mind, so that's no problem. I just wanted to make sure so that when we send over our information to Barbados, we don't have a long wait.
Thank you, Troy.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Hey, buddy. Happy for you. All right. Hey, I have a question about that Border Patrol stuff. Is it like rah pro America? Is it pretty fair, or like, because sometimes when you want to get access, the law enforcement people really sort of try to make it like pro police or pro Border Patrol. I probably wouldn't want to watch it if it's like that, but okay. So he says it's pretty fair. There was this great Egyptian show, I think it was in Arabic, called Newton's Cradle. And like the first or second episode was all about a lady trying to come through customs. It was fiction, but I thought it was pretty realistic. But yeah, I'm going to start watching it. He says it's pretty hilarious. I bet it is pretty hilarious. I mean, you guys know that's sort of, yeah, it's a little dramatic. Yeah. Did you guys know I was once on a reality TV show? It was the cheesiest thing. It was like, Danger Maniac says 100%. It's like CBP in Detroit. Laugh out loud. How to Catch a Smuggler. Yeah. I was on a reality show. Just one episode. It was a pilot. It was back before fantasy football was a big thing, and so it was about fantasy football. And it was in a studio, so it wasn't like we were all living in a house together, like Big Brother or something. But man, they really wanted you to ham it up. So when I see all these reality shows like Real Housewives of Dingbat City, they I think they're hamming it up all the time. And of course, that's what makes people excited and makes people laugh. All right, Chanel is here. Hi, Chanel Bennett.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. So I have a question, right? I am an H2B worker and I recently got married and I want to adjust my status. So therefore, I had a prior criminal record that was dismissed and expunged. So what I wanted to know, will this be a problem when I'm gonna send in my paperwork?
So what was the crime?
So it was domestic violence, simple assault, domestic violence, vandalism, domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and domestic violence, willful trespasses.
Was it all one event?
Yes.
And so Chanel, was this domestic violence involving your current spouse?
No.
Okay. And were there injuries to the person?
No.
And so we've talked about this on the show before, but different people call different things dismissed. Like one kind of a dismiss is the prosecutor gets the case from the cops and says, this is not a case, I'm dismissing it. Then there's ones where you like get probation or like, you know, a suspended sentence. If you stay clean for 2 years, then it goes away. Is it more like that or more like the straight dismissal?
Okay, so I went to pre-trial, and my lawyer told me that the prosecutor is gonna dismiss the case. I just need to do 4 sessions of anger management counseling.
Yeah, so that could be a conviction for purposes of immigration. I think that you need to, especially since there's 4 of them, and because it involves domestic violence, those are things that can trigger inadmissibility questions. So I think number 1, you shouldn't file without a lawyer, and number 2, you should have that lawyer make sure before you file that you're still admissible even with those charges. Even though they got dismissed, USCIS will still treat a state court conviction, even with expungement. You know, USCIS wants to deny as many people as possible, so they treat it as a conviction, even though under state law where you lived, it went away. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Yep.
So you're saying that even though it was dismissed, USIC, I didn't plead guilty or anything of the sort. It still can be a conviction for them.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying it could be.
Okay, I understand. And my next question is regarding when you're gonna, my petitioner is gonna file. Do you go by the income, the total income, or the adjustable gross income?
Great question. Adjusted gross income. That's the whole shooting match.
Okay, so it's not the total income; it's the adjustable gross income.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So much.
No, take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right. Looks like Nicholas is back and has a little better reception. Hi, Nicholas.
Yeah. Hey, Jim. Thank you very much for everything you do.
Sure.
It's so cool. I wanted to ask you something. So I've been married with a U.S. citizen. I applied on July the 30th for naturalization, but also I applied for the remove conditions. So I don't know. In the portal says in 4 months they will give me an answer. I guess that's not true. No, totally true. And I wonder if I go. They I guess they request an interview, and if I go for the removable conditions at that same date, they will ask me to do the citizenship test, or what's the experience really?
So when did you get your green card?
2021.
Okay.
So I applied with a 3-year rule.
Yeah. And how long ago did you apply for naturalization?
I sent the papers on July the 30th.
And have you gotten an interview notice yet, or you're just wondering what's going to happen?
Just a notification saying that they're reusing biometrics, and
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. So here's the deal, Nicholas. In the old days, 751s took 3 or 4 months to approve. Then Trump came in and slowed everything down, and COVID came in and slowed everything down. So then 751 started taking 1 year, then 2 years, then 2.5 years. So everybody got sort of impatient and said, well, I'm not going to wait for them to rule on my 751 until I'm not going to wait to file my N400 until they approve my 751. I'm just going to go ahead and file my N400. So the system, I hate to say it, 3 years later, still isn't really set up for that. right? The system assumes that most people apply for their N400 after their 751 has been approved. So what that means is that people like you have had lots of different experiences when they get their naturalization interview notice. Sometimes they just get the 751 notice. Sometimes they get just the N400 notice. Lately, some people have been getting both and have been having them scheduled on the same day. But we don't know what's going to happen, and probably you're going to get one or the other. Probably what you're going to get is your N400 interview notice, and you're not going to have any idea what to do about the 751. But I'm here to tell you what to do. You ready?
Okay.
You're going to bring updated marriage evidence. You're going to pretend that you've been noticed for your 751 and your N400. You're going to bring your spouse. They might only sit out there, but you're applying on the 3-year rule anyway, so you need to bring them. And you need to prove up the marriage again. Not as hard as you did to get the original green card, but you need to be ready on that day for anything. And you need to say to the officer, hey, bro, I'm ready to go. My marriage is still going strong. Here's my spouse. Here's our marriage evidence. This 751 should be approved, and we should get straight to my N400. Now, sometimes some people lately on the show have, especially if USCIS is concerned about their marriage, I've been seeing officers limit the interview to just the 751, even if they got a 751 notice and an N400 notice. So really, more than anything, you just got to be ready for anything and try to push them to do the whole thing at once so you don't have to go back.
I see. Okay. That will be all. Thank you very much, Jim.
Bye, Nicholas. See you, buddy. Good question. All right. Amir's been waiting. Hi, Amir.
Hi, Jim. Thank you very much for your time. I have a few questions. So, I recently was asked by the embassy to send my passport. So, I'm currently waiting for them, hopefully issue my non-immigrant visa.
Okay.
And I have an immigrant visa scheduled for October 30th. So I'm just scared if I attend like that immigrant visa, there might be some conflicts. For example, the officer may decide to put me under administrative processing again.
Certainly possible.
Or they just, I've heard like from my attorney that they like as a process of, as a part of processing the immigrant visa, they might cancel my H-1B visa and like they may put me like under administrative processing again. And I have to wait like for 1 more year. So I was not sure like what's like the right course of action for me to do, considering that I really like to start my employment in November of 2024, and considering like the presidential election coming in the November as well.
What's the question? Do you go to the interview or not? Is that the question?
So yeah, so I'm currently waiting for the visa, and hopefully I will get it like in a few days for the non-immigrant visa. So the question is, do you recommend me to attend to the immigrant visa, or I just simply ignore it and like enter the States with my non-immigrant visa?
I can't tell you either way, but in my mind, any chance you have to go talk to them and explain your situation is a good thing, and you should take advantage of it.
Oh, what if they like put it under administrative processing? Are there like any like
if they're going to put
for example, like when I want to enter the States, they say that although you have like H-1B visa, but we do not allow you to enter the States because you're already.
But that's true right now, right? That's already your situation.
Oh no, I mean like they recently asked me for my passport, so I'm hopeful that they will issue my non-immigrant visa. But like on October 30th, I have an immigrant visa interview, right? So it's like I heard that like they may like cancel my non-immigrant visa and like again put me under administrative processing, and that would like delay everything like by 1 more year or something like that.
There's no way to predict. There's just no way to predict.
Okay. And like I probably like get married soon, so I'm just wondering, would it be like wiser to stay on H-1B to bring my wife to the States? Is it like faster, or is it like faster to like get my green card and then apply for them? Like which one might be like faster?
H-1B would be faster.
Okay. And one last question. Would you like, is there like any differences between like crossing the border through land or by like the flight, or like they're pretty much the same?
I mean, I always sort of lay off trying to predict that because you just never know. But legally no, but it all depends which officer or agent you get, you know?
Okay, I see. All right, so that was everything. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
Bye.
See ya. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Yeah, Robert wanted to see me in that show. My dad was actually in that show with me. He and my buddy Hashem and another person, we all went down to film that episode. It was very strange. Anyway, Tony's right. We got the best reality show right here. Lots of good stuff. The best damn immigration sports answer show. How about that? All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. What time, Huli? 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. I'm not doing it. I didn't do anything. 2 p.m. Central. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a show on Friday, and then we'll be done for the week. No show this weekend. Might not even do a show on Friday, but we'll see. We got 3 done so far this week. Check out the Border Show on the National Geographic channel. I think we have that channel. We got so many damn channels. I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Huli. Thank you, Hina. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.